Particularly pleased about Saturday night. Obviously, going into Belfast is a big challenge for us, and we went in and we played a very good road hockey game, and we had some timely scoring from some key guys, and then I was a little disappointed we gave up a goal with 15 seconds left, but the guys rallied around it. And we had a big goal from our player assistant coach, and we got 2 points out of there. It's the second year in a row we've got 2 points, and I'm very, very happy that we did. It was a big start of a big weekend for us. And then Saturday or Sunday night against Braehead didn't start off so well. I think the first two periods they outplayed us significantly. We fell behind 3-0, but the guys rallied. I think the one thing we had this year is the guys have got a lot of pride and a lot of willingness to overcome adversity. And I think once we got two goals the other night, I think the belief came that we could win it, and we ended up scoring the winner with about a minute and a half left, and finished off a good weekend in the franchise's history. Yeah, it was a big blow. Obviously, 2 weekends in a row, the last 2 weekends in a row, we had an opportunity to win the Gardner Conference, and we were in sixth place, and to find ourselves sitting on the outside, on Saturday of the final weekend was a big blow for us. I think we struggled in the second half of the season. I think we had a good first half of the season, and our form dipped in the second half, and our key players, I think, didn't come to play in the second half for us, and it really cost us. I think, in our depth, we didn't have enough. We had two lines, and we ran two lines pretty much the whole weekend. The whole year, and that was something I wanted to address, and I did in the summer. I brought in some experienced British players and some young, very up and coming players, which have paid off, to be honest, this year. The first thing from being rehired and having my contract extended, I wanted to bring in some depth on the third line, and I brought JD back from you guys, and I brought in Barry McKenzie, who I'd played with a couple of years before. Both of those guys on the front end have been close to 20 goal scorers in the league, and I knew that I could put them alongside any import, and they would do well. And then in my next priority was to bring in Sam McCluskey, get him back, and then bring in a young up and coming defenseman and in Paul Swindlehurst, and he's developed and matured nicely for us, and I'm very happy that those four guys joined us this year. Another thing I did was I signed guys on 2-year deals so that I could count on building off that for the next 2 years, which is another good achievement, and it's good support from the ownership that they're willing to extend 2-year deals. My determination level of getting us into the playoffs was really high, and I was really focused, and I took a lot of time in the summer recruiting guys. So I'm happy with the product that we have. There's still we've been going with 10 imports all year, so there is an opportunity to add another, and I am looking for somebody to maybe push us over the edge come a playoff time. I think they've been tight. Obviously, any games against Fife have always been tight. The rivalry's there, and it's been there since before I was around, and I know the guys get extra pumped for those games, and going into Fife, it's a hostile environment, and you have to be ready to play, because the game can turn on its end. I've been on both sides of it, where we've turned the game on them, and they've turned the game on us, and it's a hostile atmosphere, and then you go back Sunday night, and I'm sure they feel that it's hostile atmosphere for them as well. So I look forward to them. It's probably the most fun games I have all season is playing against Fife. I mean they're going through a tough time at the moment. At the beginning of the year, I wouldn't put too much stock into the friendlies. They only had 4 or 5 imports in. We had, I think, 10 imports in. So, I can't put too much stock into that. But I think the league games that we've played and the one challenge game at home, I think we've fared pretty well, and I think we've taken the play to Fife the majority of the time. But again, like I said, there was the Challenge Cup game in Fife where we had the control of the game and we ended up losing 4-3. And it's playing in those games, if you're not on your game for full 60 minutes, there's no guarantees, and I wouldn't expect, considering their recent form, I wouldn't expect it to be a light game or light games this weekend. I think they're, a lot of guys would be fighting for their lives because, guys' jobs are on the line, and and they want to climb the table and they want to get out of 10th space. So I wouldn't expect it to be easy games this weekend. Yeah, I mean, we go into every weekend wanting 4 points. This weekend will be no different. Like we said, our ambition is to win the Gardner Conference, and I think the Gardner Conference goes through these teams. So if you do well in your own conference, especially against the Fifes and the Brayheads and the Hulls, and if you say you win all your games and you win the majority of your Gardner Conference games, you should win your series. You should win the Gardner Conference. So, I know that it's going to be intense this weekend. I know my boys will be ready because I've warned them we can't have complacency in our squad. There's no place for it. I think the last time we were complacent against Fife, we ended up getting turned over and lost 4-3. So I think they're well aware and they'll be used to now going into Fife and facing that atmosphere. So I would expect that we'll be ready. I think he's a good player. I think he's he gives them the added confidence of protection. I think he's an experienced defender. I think he'll add a boost for them. But again, we have to just worry about our game, and we have to just go forward. And we've played with him in the lineup before, so it's not like it's going to be a new thing for us. But our focus isn't solely on Natnix, and there's still 17 other guys on the team that we need to be worried about as well. So we're not putting too much stock into it, to be honest. Their goaltending, I think Kevin Regan is a very good goaltender. I think he's someone that I looked at certainly before he chose Fife, but him and Shimon always he comes up with a lot of goals, and he's a guy that you need to be aware of on the ice. He's kind of a sleepy player where you don't really notice him much, but every time he's on the end of the puck, it's in the net. So we certainly are aware of him, and Fulton is a very good player for Fife as well. So I mean, they've got a good squad. They just I think at this point they just haven't put it together, and there's inconsistencies there. But again, hopefully from our point of view, they continue this weekend, and we go after the 4 points. It's good, keeps the fans entertained, keeps them wanting to come back, and on both sides. And I think it's I don't take too much stock in it. I have a good laugh. There's quite a few fake Twitter accounts and stuff like that, and I have a good chuckle, but I don't get too involved in that, to be honest. Well, I'm looking for 2 wins, so any way they come, I'll be happy. But again, we can't look past Saturday night. Saturday night's going to be big. They're going to be back, in front of their crowd, and they're, like I said, they're going to be eager to impress their coach, eager to impress their fans, and I wouldn't expect anything from 100% from those guys. And again, there's that added incentive when you play against each other. I think it's probably the biggest rivalry in Scotland, to be honest, at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for people watching on TV, and it's good promotion for Scottish hockey.